Welcome to the Idaho Business Podcast, the only Idaho podcast focused on providing profits for Idaho people. If you love our state and love small business, you are in the right place. We interview local legends, learn business, and have way too much fun doing it. You're listening to the Idaho Business Podcast with your friend, host, and all-around great guy and owner of New Clean Commercial Cleaning, Spencer Ward.
All right, guys, welcome back to another episode of the Idaho Business Podcast. As always, we're sponsored by Health West. These guys are a great group to associate yourselves with as you need medical needs met. And give them a Google, find out where their local branch is to you, local clinic to you, and see what they can do for you. Man, today I was just thinking, and throughout this last weekend even too, we at times we get complacent, and when things are going well, then we're like, okay, let's just keep riding this wave. And when things are going bad, then we start thinking, okay, where can we do this? Where can we cut? Where can we, where can we continue to look for opportunities within our company? But in all reality, people, we need to be looking, when things are tough and then when things are good, especially I feel like when things are good. We've talked about things like this, during when we went through that pandemic, when people were cutting costs across the board and they were trying to save what they could. But in all reality, if everyone was doing that and you're the one putting money into marketing and other things like that, who's going to be dominating? So there's so many ways to think about your business as you continue to want to grow. And even if you're in a specific area of your business, you're like, you know what, I've been at this over a decade or more. And some of you guys have probably been 50, 60 years in a business. Maybe it's been handed down from your family to the next family, and you just kind of have it set and it's producing good profits. And you're thinking, you know what, I'm not going to shake the boat. But in all reality, there's still small things that you should be doing, things that you should be upgrading. Even if you're maybe not looking to continue to explode in growth, you should still be wanting to take on additional customers and create additional revenue streams, because you never know when the environment will change, like a COVID, like an economic downturn, and things can severely affect your business. But if you're constantly trying to tweak and diversify in ways, you're going to be more prepared when those type of things happen. And if they don't happen, it's even better for yourselves, because we all know that clients don't always stay as long as that we want them to. And if you're smart, you should have an understanding of how long your average client does stay with you. Great if it's 2+ years, awesome. If it's longer than that, even better. But you need to know that kind of information so you can continue to build on that, and your revenue streams can formulate to understanding that number. The least sexy and most profitable group you can market to is really your current customers. Right here is, I've read a lot recently, but it says, depending on which study you believe, what industry you're in, acquiring a new customer is anywhere from 5 to 25 times more expensive than retaining an existing one. Research done by Frederick Reichheld and of Bain and Company, that shows increasing customer retention rates by 5% increases profits by 25 to 95%. The profitability of selling to an existing customer is 60 to 70%. The profitability of selling to a new prospect is 5 to 20%. Man, there's so much I think we pass up on, because they're like, oh yeah, they're already in the stable, they're already a customer. Let's just keep this thing rolling. But how much more can you It's not like how much more can I get out of them. It's more how much more value can you add to that client? How much more can you do for them to make their lives easier? You know, a 2% increase in customer retention has the same effect as decreasing costs by 10%. And that was, leading on the edge of chaos by Emmett Murphy and Mark Murphy. So sometimes I think we're so focused on we're getting a little downtick. We got to cut costs. But man, just think about it. A 2% increase of customer retention has the same effect as decreasing costs by 10%. That's insane. So we really have to alter the way we think as we go forward. We have, different opportunities out there than we did. If you're a company that's been in business for over 50 years, there's new things that we're doing. If you were going to sell, and the buying group was to ask you, hey, if you had all the money in the world, what would you do to grow your business? What would your answer be? Would it be, we just grow by word of mouth? Well, that's great. That's great that you have great reputation and word of mouth that way, but that's not trackable. That's not, it's not in a form that your current buyers would be interested in. Even if you're not interested in buying, in selling, it's still a good question to ask yourself. What would you do? And there's so many different ways you can continue to market that doesn't cost a ton of money. One way that's newer and out there right now, Google local ads. If you guys haven't looked into that for your specific industry, and some of us, and they're still growing right now, and it might not offer it for your exact industry right now, but that area is exploding. So look into Google local ads because that's like, hey. It really funnels down like, hey, people that are looking for landscaping, people that are looking for, I think probably, it's got to be white collar stuff too. So people are looking for mortgages. So it's really gives you direct leads that way, and people that are calling, hey, and it's just I've seen an uptick in our leads coming in just every week from people calling that are interested in a certain industry. So it's just a different avenue that Google's pushing, even beyond if you're doing Google AdWords. So that's more of a technical side that you can be pursuing. And really, guys and gals, especially if you're in a service-based business or something like that, $5 to $7 a day goes a long ways to help market your business. If you're selling a product or a service that hey, I'm trying to get this many subscriptions sold, there's this many devices sold, and then you can come into Facebook or you can come into Google and be like, okay, depending on the funnels I'm using, and this is getting more technical, so you can hire people to do this for you. But there's plenty of people out there that say, oh, I can run ads and I can do your social media, and there's plenty of sheeps and wolves in sheep's clothing out there. So do your research, know who you should be talking to, because there's people that actually know how to check metrics and understand, okay, your ad that you're using right now is not working. It's not, people are stopping at the ad. They're not clicking through. They're not buying. So let's alter some things. And that's something you can continue to do and push forward. And, this type of marketing is not a overnight success. You could take a couple of months to perfect that system, and then you start seeing some really good success. I know people that are spending $30,000 to $60,000 a month on Facebook, and they're not spending that just to spend it. They know if they're spending 30 or 60 one month, they know they're going to get a return on their investment. If they're spending 30,000, you better believe they're probably bringing in at least 60 to 100,000 in revenue from that ad. So, or more, So just know that if you're going to go that way and you know nothing about, the technical internet side of marketing, find someone who's really good and really, really responsible and understands how to, use sales funnels, how to understand the metrics of Facebook and Google, and then continue to tweak. Another cheap way, as we continue to think about growth and knowing that customers leave, they don't always stay forever. So even if you want to stay kind of where you're at and you're like, hey, this company's been around forever, I'm enjoying just taking my nice paycheck out of it, great, but you still need to continue to keep it to a certain level. And if customers continuing to replenish your funnel of customers, then you're going to need some assistance. There's an area where you can call it a Dream 100 list. Think of all the 100 potential clients that you'd want to do business with. Understand who they are and what they do, what their hobbies are, and then continue to build that understanding of these people, and then find ways that you can add value to them in their lives. It's not like, hey, it's a sales pitch here and there, but if you do that and you have that focus, these are the customers that are going to bring, really move the needle in your business. And that's the type of the time that you as a business leader, you as a business owner need to be spending on moving that needle. The digital, the ads, that kind of stuff that can be done without you being around and just come in automatically. Those are good, and sometimes you're going to get big fish from those, but more than likely it's going to be small to medium-sized fish. But you got to understand that if you incorporate all these different ways into your marketing efforts, it's really going to help. And then on top of all that, I read some stats about customer retention. If you have nothing in the ways of customer retention, what you're currently doing to retain your customers and keep them happy and keep them feeling the value and feeling the love. Okay, let's put some systems in place. Okay, so if a customer is spending from X to whatever, if it's a monthly service you're offering or monthly or an annual sales that you're doing, put a number to it. If they're spending X amount of money per month or X amount per year, maybe they're getting a weekly email or a monthly email. They're getting a quarterly visit. They're getting, so I like to call them surprise and delights. Maybe there's a higher tier that they're spending from here to here. You're doing more for that customer to provide more customer service and more love to them, and always find ways to help them. If they're it's much easier to just deal with less contractors and less people if you can make that happen. So yeah, if you're seeing something that they need and they're not currently using your services or your products for it, you say, hey, we do this as well. Do you want to try us out for this as well? Do you want to, or asking just for referrals, asking your current customers for referrals. Hey, do you know any other businesses that would, benefit from our services or our products, whatever it may be? Man, you would see just things start to skyrocket because people generally want to help other people, unless all your customers are just in the avenue of lie, cheat, and steal. They're there to help you. As long as they have a good relationship with you and have some love for you, they're going to help you. And you're not doing it in a mischief way. Like you're doing it in a loving way that you're just saying, hey, I'm providing as much value as I can for you. Is there any way I can provide value for any of your other friends that own businesses or lead businesses? So just think of different ways as you're moving forward. But know that dissatisfied customers will tell between 9 and 15 people about their experience. Around 13% of dissatisfied customers will tell more than 20 people. And that's from the White House Office of Consumer Affairs. Happy customers will get their issues resolved. Who get their issues resolved tell about 4 to 6 people about their experiences. And I'll be honest with you, I'm above the average on that type of situation. When I'm happy and I see a customer, a company that's treated me well and has gone above and beyond for me, and man, I'm the type of person, that I want to tell everyone. I want to give them a good review on Google or wherever they want me to give it. And I want to tell people, because people that understand the lifetime value of a customer, they should be rewarded. And if they're going to really show the love and make you whole when things happen, man, you gotta give them some props for that. So just know dissatisfied customers, in general, will tell more people than happy customers will. And you see that in your Google reviews. People out there are haters, they're haters, and they will bust up your Google reviews, even for the slightest whiff. So, always respond to your Google reviews, respond with your core values in kind. Don't fight fire with fire, find ways to continue to offer value, even for a 1-star review, offer ways to make that right. And then happy customers, man, I don't know if I've ever told this story, but I was ordering a hot tub cover from an online establishment, and I fat fingered something, and I ordered a square cover. I mean, the size was exactly the same, but I ordered square corners instead of rounded corners. It came to me, it was shipped to me, and I'm looking at it, and obviously it's the wrong cover. It's overlapping the hot tub too much. And I called them up and I said, listen, guys, this is obviously my fault. I looked at the order form. It was me. I did not put rounded corners instead of square corners. I mean, I didn't put rounded. Yeah, obviously. I said that right the first time. So I'm talking to the customer service gal on the phone. I said, totally my fault. Is there anything that can be done? Could I send this back? And could you round the corners? Like, obviously, this is all on me. And they said, you know what? We don't typically do this, but let us just make you a new one, and you just pay for the shipping, right? And that was incredible for me. And on top of that, they're like, hey, and just sell the current cover you have on Facebook Marketplace or something like that. So I was able to regain some of my costs that way. And then they sent me a new one, and I paid just for the shipping. So that is going above and beyond. So have that in mind as you're dealing with your customers and potential customers, showing the love, helping them understand that, hey, we're here for you. Things don't always go right. And if you stay with us long enough as a customer, we're going to screw up. Help them understand that, and people know that, hey, people aren't perfect, companies aren't perfect, but it's how you react and how when you do screw up, and not just making it right, but making them whole, that makes the difference. So I'm hoping these things today that will help you guys, understand, like, let's get aggressive, or let's just put a few things in place, depending where you are in your business growth strategy or model, and just understand that there's so many different ways that you continue to move the needle in your business. So don't get stagnant, push forward, and as always, be happy, be grateful, and go out there and serve others. Until next episode, adios, people.
Congratulations on spending a couple of minutes getting a little bit smarter, having some fun, and supporting the Idaho business community. If you're feeling the love, make sure to subscribe, rate, and review on iTunes, Stitcher, or wherever you are.